So now that the tests are all squared off, we're going to move back to looking at the app itself. So again, I did not redeploy the contract, so this market and the my tokens should still be the same. Oh, except the market's going to be loaded with all this junk because those test NFTs get deployed every time I run my automated tests. So basically, these guys are still here, these little cute cartoons, but the test NFTs are still there as well. So remember meow1.testnet? Well, can't buy that one, so could buy something else. But last thing we're going to do in this demo video, this explainer walkthrough, is we are going to walk through the app itself. Okay, so there's nothing too crazy to the app. In index.js, I add an app provider. So I add like basically a state provider to the app component. Then we go into the app component. So you'll see the app component here. So that's now we're going deeper. So here we are in app.js. What we're going to do is we're going to load a bunch of helper components. So we load a component to manage the Near wallet. We load a component to manage the contract interactions. So it's going to manage things like minting. We set a component to manage the keys. Now, what are the keys? Well, the fancy way of me saying the public keys or the guest accounts. And then we have a component that manages the gallery. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a lot in the app.js. We're just going to basically, we're going to use actually something called the use context and use reducer. But a lot of the React state management stuff is wrapped up for you. I have that done in this utils here under utils state. Don't worry about that. Just know that it's pretty simple. It's easy to use. But basically, I get a state, a dispatch, and an update. Obviously, dispatch is a function, and update is a function, and state is just a state variable. So it's like the latest state of the application. I am going to get a bunch of information about the state every time this function runs. And I'm going to use some local state for the profile set profile. So that is what you see here. So that's profile set profile. And when the app mounts, I'm going to call dispatch on app mount. Now, on app mount is basically a variable under the state folder here, or sorry, not a variable, a function. But it's important to note these functions are all kind of, thunked out, kind of cool, Redux-y style functions, but there's no extra Redux crap here. It's just one that expects to be dispatched. So what you return, so it's a function that returns an asynchronous function. And all this is going to do is update the app, say mounted is true. And if we actually just put this here, we can just do this. You can see this happening, this like water flow style thing happening here. So app mounted true, okay. And then a bunch of other things get added to that app variable. Actually, let's hard refresh here. First, app mounted is false, near initialized false, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So basically, that's the state variable being printed out. So on app mount, let's go into app here, and we just mount the app. And then we call near init near. So what do? We initialize near. So what is near? It's we basically go get the near connection. Again, I have a lot of helpers here. So it's under utils, near utils. So just look at that. And get wallet. What does get wallet do? Well, all it does is make a connection to the near blockchain, and it asks if there's a wallet connected. And if there is, it will grab it. It also gets a contract account. So you just have an account variable that represents the smart contract of the app. But that's not the important bits. The important bits are that you sort of get the wallet. You can sign in and sign out of the app. So you've seen an example of that here. Sign out, sign in. So that will redirect to the wallet. And again, there really isn't much code beyond this. That's it. And now somebody can log into your app. So that's cool. You can sign in, sign out of the app. If you are signed in, I just go grab the balance and I do a little bit of sort of cleanup and convenience stuff. Okay, so that's it. So now we are logged in, and let's go look at some of the other components. So if you look at app.js, this is a little messy in here. So basically I set a sign-in variable. So this is checking whether or not the wallet or the guest is signed in. So I'm going to refer to the guest a lot as keys or just local keys because I'm storing local key pairs in local storage just as a temporary guest login. So it's not a perfect system by any means. You should probably use the Node.js server and some sort of third-party authentication and even go as far as to back up the user's key. Now, you're probably going to think to yourself, oh my God, this is not crypto. It's got to be the user has their own keys or whatever, But remember, we are progressively onboarding users. So while they are guests and we are going to pay for their NFTs, we are going to keep their key, or they're going to keep the key in their browser, or we could give them a seed phrase. They're going to have to do something. They can't do nothing and completely have nothing bad happen to them. So if we want to make them do something, we could make them remember a seed phrase. If we want them to do absolutely nothing, we're going to have to remember their key for them and have them sign in with Facebook or Instagram or whatever. But anyways, so signed in is either the wallet or the local keys. We check if we can get the account ID. We check if the profile is set or not, blah, blah, blah. Then we start to sort of build up our app. So you see we have the menu. The profile is either open or not. If you're signed in as if you're not signed in as a guest, we show the keys. The keys have an understanding of whether they're signed in or not. So they show themselves or not to be signed in or not. And whether you are signed in or not, we will show the contract. So remember, the contract part is this minting portion here. And the gallery is everything below this line. I'll actually show this in the elements. So menu, contract, gallery. And inside menu, we have the wallet. So the wallet is here. The wallet is here. It's pretty broken down for you. So let's take a look at the contract and gallery, and then that's it. So here is the contract component. So we have metadata, set metadata, and the freebies. So this is the metadata here. And freebies are something that we check when it is a guest account. So we only check it when there's a guest account. So here you'll see me checking the freebies, and basically there's a lot of weird kind of funky logic here, but if there is no account, then it's probably not a wallet account because only wallet accounts would lead to this account variable being set, and that's back in my near state here. So remember, I check if there's a wallet signed in, let account. If the wallet is signed in, I'm going to set the account variable. If not, the account variable is undefined or null or whatever, right? So yeah, that's it for that. And we go through here. So if it's not a wallet account, then we will show freebies. If it is a wallet account, I guess we're just going to show this basic stuff. So let's take a look at what that looks like, the difference. So sign out, sign in as guest. Okay, so now we see the freebies. So the freebies are being checked, and that's about the only difference there. Okay, so how do we handle a mint? Well, basically what we do is we have to figure out which account we need to get to sign the transaction. So is it a wallet account where they can sign their own transaction and they have to pay the near fee of 1 near, or is it an app account or an account like a guest account? There. So what we do is we say let app account equal account. So we assume that it is a wallet account. And then we just have these other variables that we need to set once we figure out which is which. Remember, if there is no account, so account equals app account, if there is no app account now, because there was no account, that means there's no wallet. So what we do is we set the app account to be the access key account. And then what we do is we go get the key pair from the local keys. So we assume, actually there's a line up here that helps me. If there's no account and no local keys signed in, then we're going to return null. So that means there's no wallet account, no guest account. If there is a wallet account, this would be set, and we would go to the else condition, but there's no wallet account, so we're going to actually set the account ID to be the local keys account ID, and we're going to get an access key account. So an access key account is like a guest account. So if the wallet was logged in here, we would actually get the account ID here, and everything would be good, and we would set the deposit. So cool. So now we get the contract using the app account variable. So we wanted to use just one variable to represent whether it was a wallet account or a guest account. So we now get a contract instance, and we call either guest mint or mint token. This is really hacky and ugly, but it works. So no account, no wallet, basically, we're gonna call guest mint. And if there is a wallet, we're gonna have to mint token, and we're gonna have to pay the deposit. Okay, so once that's done, we're gonna check the freebies, and we're gonna update loading. So we can take a look at what that looks like. We'll just mint another one of these things. Whoa, this is some freaky stuff. Okay, let's do this nice PC safe one. Oh. I obviously don't know how to use Giphy. Okay. So we're going to use this, this GIF here. So we're going to see what a mint looks like, and then it's going to call update freebies. So we'll see it go to 3 out of 3. All right, so we saw it change there. Cool, cool. Okay. We should probably empty out the metadata after we do that, right? So set metadata like that. Oops. And we're not going to be able to test that because I ran out of free mints, or no, I'm on the third one. Okay. So digital talent. Hey, I think I got some digital talent. Okay, let's mint that. And we should see this get wiped out. Okay, so just a little bit of improvement to the app there. Okay, so I saw it briefly, it got wiped out, and then it says you are out of free mints. Okay, so that's the contract, and then the last thing I'm gonna show you is the gallery. So the gallery does a bunch of stuff. Most of it is reading, but it also accounts for setting prices and purchasing. So the gallery is kind of like a bit more like a marketplace. But basically it needs all of this info. So where does it get all of that info? It gets it all from, originally from state up here, and then gallery gets all of this stuff passed down here. So it's like this waterfall of components and props, right? But only 2 levels, so not too crazy. Okay, so if there's no contract account, I mean return null, so that just means the contract account isn't around yet, but don't worry, it will be. Excuse me. So we have like fetching, set fetching, so I don't even know what that does. Oh yeah. This is just to make sure that we don't load the gallery too many times when state is changing. Don't worry about that. But basically, when the component mounts or when loading changes, now this is kind of interesting. So I have this global state variable called loading, and remember those little meerkats that are flying on the little rainbow jet, and they're like holding a jet. That is being shown when loading is true, and then it's being taken away when loading is false. So whenever loading changes, this effect for the gallery is going to update. So the gallery does not update just when the gallery component mounts. It updates every time you do a transaction that changes the state of loading. So it's going to go loading true, show the little near cats, loading false, take them away, and it's going to call load on the gallery. So it's going to load the items. So that's cool. So after every transaction, it's going to load the items. So that it's only going to do that when loading is false. So when it toggles to a true state, it's not going to load the new gallery because the transaction is still going through. When the transaction is done, for example, like minting, it's going to have loading equal false, and it will load the items. So what do we do when we load the items? We go to the contract and we get the number of tokens that have been minted, and we create a new array for the new items, and we loop through all of the items and we get the token data. And then what we do is we push the token data onto the new items, and we store the integer I here just as the token ID. So we just need to keep track of the token ID. Oh yeah, and we start at 1. That's important to note. So we start at 1 and we go to num tokens plus 1. We could do, less than or equal to num tokens, all the same. Okay, so then what we do is we call new items.reverse. Now this helps us get the last minted tokens to be first in our array. So something you kind of want, because the last minted token should be at the top, right? If we go look at our app, we see that that is the case. So my tokens are minted in order. I minted Nice Day before I minted Digital Talent. We go to the market, we see all the test tokens. That's because I ran the tests again. But then we see this guy on top of this guy that I originally first minted. And then we see all the test mints again from the very first time. Okay, so then we set the items. So that sets the local state of the items so that we can display it in the React app. Then we have handle purchase and handle set price. So they basically, they do what they are intended to do. So, I mean, you can figure it out. So what's interesting about this though, is that handle purchase, it will just get a contract with the account. Now, why? Why will it get a contract if it only sees a wallet account? Why can't a guest purchase a token? Well, it's just a decision that I made. I made a decision that guests who are earning funds, well, I mean, they actually can't purchase because they can't pay the deposit. So that's it. Not a decision I made, just can't do it. But basically, the guests should not be able to purchase, so we just assume it's a wallet. So that's why handle purchase is very small method. And the handle set price, it goes and checks the, remember, we do kind of the same thing that we did in the contract. We check the account is the current account. I think in the contract, I called it the app account. So I'm going to call it that again. I'm going to replace current account with app account everywhere. Okay, make sure that adds up. It's the same exact thing. So blah, blah, blah. You go through and then, call methods, access key methods, sure, whatever, I think the access key methods do have some extra methods that the other contracts don't have, but I don't think it applies here because I don't know. I was just showing off that you can use different methods. You don't have to use the same methods for all the keys, whether it's a wallet account or whether it's a, for all contract instances, whether it's a wallet account calling the contract. So whether it's one of these or whether it's one of these pub keys inside the contract, you don't have to use the same methods. You can use different methods for those access keys. Okay, so then once we're done setting the price, we're going to load the items, which should load the new price, and then it just displays it on the screen. So the rest is just rendering, and it's really ugly. There's a lot of filter this, blah, blah, blah. What's in the market, what tokens are mine, this and that, blah. It's a little messy, but you get the point. Okay, I think that is it. That is a really long video. I think I'm going to chop it up. I might chop this up into like 3 different parts. That's the video. And I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough of all the different pieces of this this really cool app example from, we started with docs.rs talking about the Rust contract. We then went on to talk about the application tests and how they run, and we ran through those. And we did a little demo of the app, and we also we sold some NFTs, and we also did a run through of the actual app itself. So the whole app and state management and connecting to Near protocol and the whole gallery and the whole contract. The only thing we didn't look at was keys and wallet, but I assure you those are not that interesting. They just manage the keys and they manage the wallet. Very boring. Okay. So that's it, and I hope you enjoyed. And I'm probably gonna try to go meditate and get some rest like this guy. So yeah, a couple of quick notes. We did a major overhaul to the Near docs. You can go to docs.near.org, or I think an easy one, docs.near.ai, or no, the near.ai/docs. Yeah, either one gets you there. Near.ai/docs is easy to remember. But basically, getting started is our getting started guide. So you'll land right here. This gets you up and going right away. If you want to get more of those videos, it's under tutorials and under contract reviews, application reviews. So we are putting all of the app reviews here. And we're linking to all the repos, and that's it. So I'm doing a lot of these, and we are going to be doing that as part of the DevRel team. And if you want to jump in, go to community, and you can join our Discord, Telegram. It's all right here. So docs.near.org or near.ai/docs, whatever one you want. And basically, this is like your jumping off point to everything for developing. You can get some high-level concepts. You can develop. We've got some great introductions here to the front-end APIs, like Near API.js, which is what I was using for my Jest tests and my application front-end. And we got your tools covered. We got your tutorials. We got everything. This is a great quick start getting up to speed here, and I hope you enjoy. So join us in our Discord. So just community Discord, or actually really easy, it's just near.chat. Near.chat will invite you to our Discord. Please join us there if you're building on Near, and we would love to help you. Okay, thanks everybody. Goodbye.